You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best. Teach a system, I invest, never hidden, I ain't scared. Ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Party Pals, GRC Mafia, right out of the gate. We're here to break down barriers, foster collaboration, community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. Definitely learning and growing environment. If you guys have any questions or resources or anything like that that you guys want to share throughout, definitely drop that in chat. Now, one of the best places to drop your social media, or if you have links for resources that you want to drop, is to go through the Discord server for that. YouTube will not allow you to publish those on the live chat, but you can go through onto our Discord server, go over to the live chat, and you could go ahead and post your social media or resources there that way. If you guys would like to come up on stage, I did drop the link for it already. This is our Friday AMA open stage and so forth. If you guys do not want to come up on stage, that's perfectly fine too. You guys could hang out and chat. Just ask your questions. What are you guys working on? What's your guys' weekly wins? You know, we all made it to Friday so far, so that's a huge benefit. Some of you might already be coming into the weekend now, depending on what time zone you guys are in. But yeah, don't share anything that you don't want to be public. If you happen to do so, reach out to me on Discord, LinkedIn, or contact@studygrc.org. Let's see here. I do see a couple mentions here. Welcome to the Party Pal, Cam, AB, Rothnir. I think I saw we popping in as well, Brexy. Welcome to the Party Pal, Chad. Bam. How's the week going for everybody? And then also there's the mention about the bot too, already going for number 1 or something. AV saying the bot is not number 1 yet. I did modify that, so everything's a little bit longer. I think I added an extra 15 minutes to the timers that it puts in chat, and we'll see if that makes a difference. So it should, the actual Nightbot should publish the links at the very beginning, and then it has automatic timers throughout that I added 15 minutes to each. Rothnir and I beat the bot. For now, I guess we'll see what happens on this particular stream and so forth. Let me drop this link one more time, and then we'll go ahead and get going there. So the bot's going to go ahead and give you guys a run here in a moment, but definitely check out our website, studygrc.org. One of the biggest reasons to do so is because it goes through and lists out everything that we have here. Our Thursday and the Friday AMA that we're doing now, the Coffee with the Mafia, where you can book a free one-on-one session for absolutely $0. We do not want anything in exchange. Right now we have 8 volunteers that it randomly selects based on whatever time availability they have. The curated news as well. Of course, the Discord community, which is freaking awesome, because especially outside of our live streams, if you guys ever have a question, you guys are curious about a particular resource, you guys could drop it in there and get community feedback. And if somebody doesn't know about it, then, I mean, we have quite a few different people that we could reach out to check that out as well. And then, of course, our resources page as well. Let's see. So now let's see the bot go ahead and take it over for you. Let's see. So there's our resources page and our website as well. And we're always looking for feedback as well. What do you guys want to see? Like, I know Cam is really looking forward to that GDPR part 1. Man, it took me off the screen. I didn't even... See? Still struggle streaming. Let me double check chat here. Let's see. Cam says that he doesn't really care about being 1 to 3rd on the crowns. It just irritates me when one of the bots are. Yeah, I don't believe that, Cam. I feel like you are a competitive person. Let's see. AB's just playing and Shirley doesn't care. Yeah, I don't believe you guys. We want to subscribe for a coffee meet. Oh God. Yeah, we don't want anything in exchange, but of course, yeah, if you guys do want to see more content like we do and so forth, definitely drop a like or subscribe if you guys would like to see more stuff like that. Let's see. And then also check out PBO on Tuesday. So here comes more with the bot. So soon AB and Cam are going to have to start beating for first place on the bot. But PBO goes live on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And this next week, he's actually going to be talking about high trust. And thanks to PBO, I didn't, sleep between last night's meeting and today because that entire new section of NIST, which is pretty interesting. What's going on, Cam? You're muted, but it looks funny when you're not audible. Let's see. Yeah, and then also, of course, B-dubs as well. I think most of you guys are familiar with B-dubs, BritWhite.io. She goes through and publishes a GRC cybersecurity related article every single week on Monday, along with a video talk through as well, the read-alongs. And then she presented last night and then, disappeared. You're still muted. Yeah. Go ahead and do that again, Cam. Exactly. Oh, I hear something.
Now we're rolling.
Yes. Now we can hear you.
Helps if you turn it on. It's the age old. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
That may be beneficial.
Yeah, could be. No, I was gonna say great. What I was saying, what that you bleeped was that it was a great presentation by B-dubs last night.
Bam. Yeah, and then it looks like there was a job thing posted here. My ad block's blocking that URL, so I can't pull it up. AB. Oh, I got it. Okay, it's just because it wasn't HTTPS. Let's see. Yeah, and see, this is like one of the biggest issues that I don't like to see is, we have all of these different influencers are out there that are like, oh yeah, you guys can break into GRC in 6 months or 3 months, take my boot camp, and then you guys can get 6-figure jobs. AB is definitely a good individual and everything else. But it's also important to note that like this position that's 255 to 345 is for Anthropic, for the AI company, and it requires 5 to 10 years of experience. So this is not an entry-level role. So have 5 to 10 years of experience in governance, risk, and compliance roles with a track record of adapting frameworks to evolving business needs. So not a beginner. This is definitely a senior level. But yes, of course, these types of roles do exist. I would say most often it's below 200K. But these companies do also have a ton of money. So PBO, you could go make some, real 6-figure income.
Right.
Let's see.
What's the starting rate for 35 years of experience?
yeah, that's what PBO should do is be like, oh, okay, 5 to 10 years. Well, I got 3 times that, so we'll just multiply, right?
I'll give you a break on it. We'll just double it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like AV says is that he 100% agrees. Yeah, it's still a good send and everything else. I just wanted to add that context to it. So somebody who does have 5+ years of experience, like this is, I would 100% be checking that out. So definitely a good find. I just wanted to throw that out there because when you just look at the salary figures, then I've seen other people out there who will go through and say, yeah, 6 figures in 6 months, check out these jobs. And then if you actually find those particular roles, they're senior level roles. So yeah, that's the only reason I wanted to clarify.
I saw somebody post on LinkedIn about this Anthropic position, and to their credit, they were just posting to say basically like, see, you can make money in GRC. I was like, yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of people fighting for the one job here, but there is value. There is value.
Well, and if you guys checked out the Google Trends, GRC is at a huge height. So yeah. GRC is not going anywhere. No. Welcome to the party, pal. Ben Tech and Cyber Research is popping in. GRC Mafia. Wild Cam, Friday Cam.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Did I say high trust? I thought I said zero trust. Yeah, PBO streaming about zero trust on Tuesday. Maybe I did say high trust. I don't know. I'm all hyped up about that high trust event on August 12th. So actually gives me an opportunity to not only join the actual workshop itself for kind of what he did for us for his presentation that he did, but then also just have that one-on-one with these instructors for high trust and ask them, very direct questions. Because I mean, there's so much that goes into high trust itself. And I think one of the biggest issues that they have is trying to position the fact that it's no longer healthcare, because everybody still thinks that.
Yeah. I feel like on our stream, he brought that up like multiple times.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this other thing up. What's your weekly win, Cam?
Just finally diving into some of these AI hallucination tools. So my next video, I guess, will be on kind of demoing some of them. And to be 100% honest, this is where my lack of technical ability kind of bites sometimes, is just going into GitHub and understanding the process of how to set these things up. A lot of like some cool free or open source tools to use. But my inabilities as anything touching code is showing, but had some successes with that, including this morning of trying to set up some demo stuff. And so that was my win. My loss for the week is that I bought one of these sound deafening panels for my office because of my feral children. And it's Velcroed up, and I just put it up before hopping on here, and I'm just now realizing that my door swings in. So I will have to take the entire thing down to exit my office. So that's all the more important. Just life lesson, kids. Think twice before you hang stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I think I showed the light before, but I had a light hanging right above me, and it fell like 4 times, and then it finally broke. And so I haven't even been running it now. But I tried super glue, double-sided tape, all kinds of different stuff.
All of
nope.
It. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it did have an aluminum frame on it, so I did consider welding it, but yeah, no.
JB Weld. Yeah.
There we go. Full send. Also, Space Tacos mentions, what about low trust? That's what somebody should do. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, that's what we should do, is do a low trust where it's like, we don't have high trust in any of this stuff, and here's the best practices, and we'll just call it low trust framework.
I thought it's just called ISO.
Oh God. Too bad Chris Hildago isn't in chat, because I'm kind of curious, because I don't believe or I don't believe that ISO 2701 actually covers zero trust at all. I don't think it does address that. So you had me at.
Oh yeah.
What does it say? Oh yeah. I just noticed that too. Man, what a show off over here with our t-shirt.
Some merch, right?
Yeah, how'd the logo come out?
Really good.
On the arm. Nice. Bam. Yeah, even PBO. Yeah, see, at least me and PBO can agree on something, you know? Boo, ISO. Yeah, as Chris Haldago comes rolling in. And yes, I caught that too, Rosnir, on feral children.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all just so loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, probably, I don't even remember what I said last week, but so I did get the recordings done for the rest of the 60 Days of GRC series, and that's scheduled out now. So up to this point, you know, I'm really good at procrastination, so I was doing it week on week, and then like a week ago or so, I got those knocked out so I can get ahead of the series, and now all of those videos are actually scheduled, so that's done.
Nice.
That's definitely a weekly win there.
Yeah.
So and there's numerous other things that I like put off, you know, like GDPR part 2. But yeah, I talked before about like WGU and so forth, and I just completed setting all of that, finalizing that stuff. So bam. As far as like a weekly, didn't you say a weekly loss? Is that what you said?
I said weekly loss. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think I would just reword it. So like a weekly win or a weekly success, and then like a lessons learned.
There you go. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like that's what we could start positioning on these Friday AMAs.
Right.
What about everybody else for your, you know, weekly win and your lessons learned? I had a hell of a time with this 3D printer. That's what took me so long for these keychains for B-dubs, is because I got the 3D printer and all, but like I never put the time into really learning like in depth. Like I read through the manual and so forth, but definitely a learning curve. And so I was complaining about having some printing quality issues and jamming and so forth. And then both Rania and Luke C3 were like, "Oh yeah, it's just the humidity level." And I'm like, "But it's not that high. How would it cause it to jam like this?" Well, lo and behold, I got a dryer earlier, I think Tuesday, and now absolutely zero issues.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's literally all. Like, I'm talking like 8 hours of struggling with this machine to the point that I turned it off for 2 weeks straight because I was just done with it.
Yeah.
And all it was because the filament was too wet. And so now it's running like a champ.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, that's what like a lessons learned on the different perspectives, because I literally was complaining about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm like done with this. Like, I'm just gonna send this printer off to Cam or something at this point. I don't want to look at it. And you know, getting that community feedback, other perspectives and so forth on it, and you know, it resolved the problem. Because I also, you know, took their word for it, and I, you know, I totally wasn't like, oh no, that's totally not it. You guys are wrong. Right. I was like, oh, I'll prove you wrong. Let's get a dryer. Right. And then I was wrong. Rania, yeah, mwahahaha. Ranya's always right. Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit here. So Rothnir says about the WGU stuff. PBO says congrats on the WGU. And then also, I think AB also mentions about the WGU. So yeah, my game plan, I've talked to quite a few people about that, is the bachelor's for business management. And then I'm going to pursue the cybersecurity and information assurance master's program. That's based on all of the research and people I've spoken to, that's going to be the most well-rounded approach for GRC. I'm sold on GRC. Yeah. I am dead set. Like, GRC is my life. So the business management combined with the master's in cybersecurity and information assurance would probably be a really good mix for that. And, I don't have a degree, so I kind of just want to get it just because.
Yeah.
And so like I have already been working through, there's a website called Sophia that you can do like the general education and some of the other course content. It's $99 a month. And then you can transfer those credits over. And like they have pages for it, for the IT side and for the business program. And I've already been working on that. And like I'm down to like 6 more courses or like 8 more courses or something like that I wanted to knock out prior. And then basically what that does is it knocks, when I actually start the program with WGU, then it's going to be half the time and half the cost. So
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, the call earlier was just like to check in on progress and deadlines and so forth and whatnot, just to, you know, have things lined up for later this year. So Rosnier says,
what are you earmarking as far as like start date?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest with you. I hate, you know, lining those commitment portions up. That's one of the benefits, is that like going through Sophia, it's all self-paced. And so you get the credits, but it's all self-paced and so forth. And so, you know, that's one of the biggest benefits, but definitely no later than the end of the year. Like, yeah. Like I'm planning, once I actually get into and start the program with WG Youth, and yeah, it's gonna be alive. I'm gonna revert my NIST fascination with getting that knocked out. So
right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really awesome.
So because I prefer to get it knocked out. But yeah, I mean, that was another, yeah. So the printer was the lessons learned, and then the WGU portion. I still don't, you know, unfortunately, like I personally don't believe that we should have to force the college degrees for positions and so forth, but that's just how the world works for the most part. Like,
yeah,
whether we like it or not, it does have an impact. And,
yeah,
you know, that's just how life works. So for the most part, like, it's not a one size fits all. Everybody has their own roadmaps on it and so forth, but yeah.
Right. But it's a wider net, you know, like it's a wider range of opportunities a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also AB, I have absolutely no idea about the major portion for the master's, because I'm just going to do that bachelor's first, and then I want to immediately go into the master's program. So, yeah, and like Ron, you also mentions degrees go in and out of fashion too. And I've mentioned before, I've talked to 2 different recruiters who said that they will not hire from WGU because it's an accelerated program. So,
oh really?
Yeah. One of the big reasons, like I've heard people talk about on why degree programs or degrees are requested, is because you stuck with that program for that period of time. It shows commitment not only to the field, but then also that you could stick with something for that period of time, whether it be a 2 or 4 year program, which makes sense. And so an accelerated program where it's not uncommon for somebody to pass in less than 6 months for a 4-year degree, I get where they're coming from. So.
Sure.
I mean, really, it's just working up to where, you know, I may qualify for that PhD program. But we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love GRC. GRC is awesome. NIST is life.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys follow the news feeds channel, some of the NIST stuff has been publishing. And like something I noticed is like one of the last things that it published was where was it? So they posted SP 1334, reducing the cybersecurity risks of portable storage media in the OT environment, and it's a public draft. And so I mentioned that because that made me think of Space Tacos over here. Man, I was just talking to myself, Cam.
Were you? I heard you.
Oh, no audio With cam though? Oh.
They're saying an audio delay for me or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably Restream itself. But
I'll just say that was a very valid point.
for what? For which portion? Restream?
It's an audio delay, so I just
Yeah. I mean, it's spot on. Since Restream runs through the browser and so forth, like a large majority of it's going to be the platform itself. So yeah, and I've noticed some quality concerns with it, but we also have been streaming in ultra low at 2 to 3 second delay, which puts even more strain on it actually, and lower quality to you guys. Let's see. Nothing from an accelerated program is kind of stupid to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same track. Like, if you went through, you completed all the same coursework and everything else, but you were able to do it quicker, wouldn't that be a benefit? Like,
right.
That shows that you can do more work in a shorter period of time and still complete it.
Fish. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's their money to spend, I guess. But yeah, take a look at that NIST publication, that draft Space Tacos. So I think that is right up your alley, and I think it would be awesome if you were to submit comment for that. So that's NIST SP 1334, initial public draft on reducing the cybersecurity risks of portable storage media in OT environments. They're making an actual document just for that. Seems a little specialized. Bam. On another note, I'll drop an email later today, and we all need to send an email into NIST to come out with a dark mode.
Yes.
You would think it's a benefit, but apparently it's not the case. Yeah, I don't feel like most companies are really going to care. It's just that piece of paper to get through HR, but some of the companies are going to care. Like the recruiters. I think it's more the recruiters than anything else.
Yeah, the recruiter side. Yeah.
So, because the company just wants somebody who can do the job, you know, at the lowest point where it doesn't become a risk. So, Rania mentions, that's one reason I never committed to WGU in 2016, 2017 timeframe. Yeah, and I could see that too. So what did you do? Go to some Ivy League? And then this is when Rania like just comes out with like, oh yeah, like full Harvard or something. I've never looked.
Actually, I did. Yeah.
Let's see. Rania also says around 8 to 10 years ago, WGU was basically blacklisted in recruiting. Then online colleges really took off, and I think the tone changed for the most part. And that's a good thing to note too. Like maybe some of these recruiters, like the two that I did talk to, maybe they're just backdated. So
Sure.
I remember 10 years ago when like companies didn't like online programs. They were like, oh, you can't learn online. What is this, black magic?
Right. Right. They were like, that's nice you went to camp. Yeah.
Yeah, so you watch some videos on YouTube. That's doesn't qualify.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, hack HR around the planet. Also, while WGU degree were aimed at people that have work experience but not a degree, I think that's where the lack of respect is people with no background. Oh yeah. And that was actually one of the questions that they asked me, is if I had any industry background at all, which I do have help desk already. So and I technically have some other background with it as well.
They being the recruiters you were talking to, or they being WGU?
Yeah, so through WGU on the application process, because I've been talking with one of their people for a while now. I already have the account set up and everything else, but it's basically just me transferring everything in from Sophia in order to start the following month, because they start their programs at I think it's the 15th of every month or something. Sure. And so every so often they would just want to check in and, you know, be like, hey, you haven't like given up on us yet, right?
Right.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, Cyber Research. GRC Mafia. Let's see. Yeah, and a lot of you guys have gone through WGU's programs, and that's one of the main reasons why I still want to, is because like I probably know 15 people who have gone through WGU programs. And it is.
I feel like it's gotten really good marks. Yeah.
And it has a mixed bag to an extent, but I mean, everything's going to.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do know is that it's like 1/8 the price. So, and I can complete it faster.
Right. The self-pace is worth a ton. Yeah. Some of those recruiters aside, if that's for some reason a detraction. But,
yeah, B-Dubs is just going to take over the streams for 6 months.
Nice.
I'll have Cam running the streams for 6 months while I'm just like knocking everything out.
There we go. My audio is delayed, so it's all going to be miming, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Brexy. What are your guys' favorite online learning platforms? What's your favorite platform to learn from?
I've used a lot of Coursera personally. That's actually how I started with Google Cyber Cert, and then just like started doing a bunch of other stuff for there. That's kind of how I found the whole AI governance, data, and AI ethics type of courses and stuff. So I like that you could learn from a bunch. Like took a course from like University of Edinburgh and Maryland and California Irvine and stuff. I just like that you can pull from all these different resources. But I've really used that and like some LinkedIn learning. I haven't done a lot of the more traditional or maybe in depth like a WGU is, but I definitely feel like that's the next step. I like learning, so it's more that part of it than like a drive to get some sort of credential, but credentials are helpful as well.
What a nerd.
Absolute
yeah
nerd.
I like learning.
Absolute nerd. Yeah.
It makes me think of what is that, Ralph off of The Simpsons, or what was that kid's name?
Oh right,
yeah like he's sitting at the
Ralph?
back of the bus, and then he's just like, I like learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I really like the fact, I'll backtrack here in a second, but both Space Tacos and Brexy throws out YouTube. A lot of people don't think about YouTube being a learning platform, but look at Black Hills, look at Anti-Siphon,
right?
Simply Cyber, look at, there's hundreds, if probably thousands of different educationally focused content. And yeah, there's so much that's on YouTube alone.
That's 65-hour AI Gen Essentials or Gen AI course that I'm taking, all YouTube. Yep.
How is that going, by the way? I'd love to take it, but
I'm about like 12 hours in, I think, total. Yeah. But it's really good. It gets into more of the nitty. I've been enjoying learning more about like the actual makeup of Gen AI and how it works. Between that, and that's probably what prompted that, and PBO are probably what prompted my hallucination fascination of late.
So about 12 hours through that, and what, probably 6 of the Alanas?
Yeah, right. The Alanas are a daily routine for me. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
They're either pre-coffee or post-coffee. Yeah.
I don't envy you. Yeah, let me backtrack here for a moment.
YouTube University. I like that.
For people not born in the USA, doesn't WGU say no suit for you? I have no idea. I've never looked into it or otherwise. Maybe. Like I've heard maybe some of those cases with some of the like renowned colleges, but I don't know. I don't know like how they handle that or otherwise.
I feel like I have some LinkedIn connections that are not states-based that have mentioned taking WGU courses. I don't know about like full-on master program, but
yeah. Space Taco says that they wouldn't mind getting a cyber degree from WGU, but I've already got a handful of degrees and no longer in the mood to pay for school. I've also only ever heard fantastic things about WGU. I think the overall consensus is positive. So, and I don't see it going under, like, what was that, DeVry or something?
Oh yeah, DeVry.
Yeah, when PBO was mixed in the bag of a, legitimate scam boot camp. So we got YouTube, we got Udemy as well, and then Coursera.
Oh, Udemy, yeah.
It's mostly mobile friendly and listening to the modules.
Mm-hmm.
I only completed 2 programs on Coursera, but I thought it was a good platform.
Yeah.
So these platforms are so expensive.
Again, it's that self-paced. It's that like self-paced learning that I love. Like I think the Google cert, you're supposed to be like a 6 to 8 month thing is what they market. And I was like, I'm doing this in 3 to 4. Just if you want, you can try to really try to escalate that, or accelerate that.
So while
Yeah.
I was studying for the Sec Plus, I found a referral code to Coursera for $1. And then I was able to complete the entire Google cybersecurity certificate in less than 30 days. So I paid $1 for that.
In that month.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's what I did for,
awesome.
that entire period. But that was during my Sec Plus study time.
That's crazy.
And I feel like it was a really good combination towards the Sec Plus too. It touches on other things that's not involved with it, but it was really good info. Did you take a look at that big interview that you get at the end? They might have took it out.
Big interview. Oh, they did like interview prep. Is that what you mean? Like at the end of the Google cert?
Yeah. So the very last module for the Google cybersecurity certificate, you get lifetime access to big interview, and usually it's like $300 every 6 months or something like that, and you get lifetime access. And I love the platform, so it is on the pricier
I actually
side.
haven't gone back into that. It was included with it.
Yeah, and I paid $1 for it. Like,
nice.
I'm pretty proud of that.
That is phenomenal.
Oh, and then we got PBO coming in to talk about his, because I just called them out.
Indiana on Indiana crime.
Didn't even have to call out the 53.
Shout out to the 53.
Brexy mentions that WGU does accept Canadian.
Money or Canadian people?
Good point. Actually, Brexy, let me ask you something. So, there was an individual I was talking to recently, and they said that, oh, this book is $50 US, but it's $60 Canadian. What do you know? Like, I haven't done the conversion on it, but like, is that a significant difference between 50 US and 60 Canadian? I was just kind of curious because like they were like, oh my God, why is it more expensive in Canada? And I'm like, it's not like a direct conversion. Like a Canadian dollar is not 100% US per se. So.
Not true on a conversion.
I always forget about Brexy being up there in that area. Yeah, Space Tacos also mentions DeVry before they were a university.
I taught at one of those universities that got closed down for a while. So.
Yeah, and Space Tacos also mentioned Udemy on sale. You can get all kinds of free stuff through Udemy. I don't personally like it, but
I love Udemy. I got like 10 things in my queue I need to go start looking at. Shout out to Rania. I used to teach at ITT for like 3 semesters. Rania had that on there. She go. Yeah, I used to teach there, Rania. That's funny.
I don't have the link to my Credly handy off the bat, but if you guys take the Space Tacos is spot on. You get like a 30% discount off the Sec Plus, so you can take the Google cybersecurity certificate. And then you get a discount for the Sec Plus. But on top of that, what not everybody seems to realize is that you can also get a dual certification through Credly. So if you obtain the Google cybersecurity and the Sec Plus, then you can message Corsair and they'll issue you out a special Google and CompTIA badge for that as well, if you obtain both. And it's a dual badge.
Oh, that's good to know.
It just looks really cool. I like Credly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you want me to take your course? I didn't Credly. Like I even ended up going through Maverick Analytics for Excel, and a large reason for that is because they have digital badging. Yeah, no worries, Unscuffed. A little behind on the stream, but ISO 27K2 talks a little bit about zero trust under another control, just not as a phone blown model. That is a great mention. So when you do catch up, yeah, thanks for throwing that out there, because I haven't looked into it in depth, but that was my understanding, is that it didn't really touch on the zero trust aspect, but they do have a little bit, it sounds like.
Shout out to Rania.
That's a thrift store IT education. Fine, Chris. Which one are you referencing to? The $1 Google cybersecurity certificate.
I'm guessing it's the $1 cert. Yeah.
More people should do that. Like whenever I go, like
for sure,
I'll be dead set on a platform or whatever else, but the first thing I do is Google search. Promo codes for whatever. Like try hack me, let's defend,
right.
Like whatever. I have very few annual subscriptions, but those annual subscriptions are always around Black Friday. And I try to get it early so that way every year it times out and then it's still during their Black Friday deal. Or just new account.
Facts.
Okay. So 1 US is about 1.3 Canadian. So
that makes sense. If somebody was saying, oh, it's way more expensive for Canadians, maybe it was just the...
Yeah, like they were freaking out. They were like, why should I spend $10 more in Canada for this book? I'm like, they have a different currency. That's why. Like I knew that much, but I do have some friends that are up in Canada actually, because I'm not that far from the border, and they like the US. They come down here for a lot of things like milk, so they're not paying $12 a gallon. So
maybe the book's more expensive because of all the additional A's. Could be.
That's a good one. Yeah. All the references to,
I'm French Canadian. I can say that, right?
Good luck to Kiki on his DPO interview. Oh, yeah, he just highlighted.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck on that. I just never thought about becoming a privacy officer. So I work with them a lot. I just never thought about that. It's usually those are big companies that sprint those up.
It's a long interview.
Yeah,
shit.
an hour and
6
20
hour
minute
interview before. So.
How do you feel coming out of that, Jasmine? Like, what's your takeaway? Do you feel like, is a pretty real well-rounded and, so forth for the DPO? Yeah, so what? We got, I should have made a list, but so we got YouTube University, we got Udemy, we got Corsair. At least for blue teaming, I love Let's Defend. And then I think most of us have heard of Let's Try Hack Me. And
Pluralsight is big.
Pluralsight. Yeah, I
never
like
go
Pluralsight.
to it, but a lot of people go to it. I've never.
I like Pluralsight, but it is on the pricier side too. And like I've also heard that a lot of the courses are not to real good depth. But Rania mentions, I feel like people don't take sales tax of other things into account with pricing. Like it may be $50, but you have that 8.25 tax. Yeah.
Good point.
But that's different if you're in Texas, right? Doesn't Texas not have tax?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, income tax, right?
Yeah.
I've talked to people who, visit the U.S. and then they get freaked out because of taxes. They're like, wait, it's not like included in the price? Like,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like tipping. I don't think you tip in Europe because they pay them a different wage at restaurants than in the United States. So,
Have you checked out Pluralsight, Brexy? Because I've talked to a few different. I did go through there and I had like a 3-month on there and I liked it, but I didn't really look into it to too much depth. Like what I was looking at, was good. I thought it was great material, but now that people have told me that, oh, it's not too much depth, it does kind of make sense because it was more foundational that I was looking at. Oh, Texas does have sales tax.
Yeah, I thought it was just the.
Jasmine says, I felt pretty good after I used Gemini AI to prepare for the interview, which helped quite a bit. Bam! GRC Mafia. Out of curiosity, Did you happen to use the voice mode for Gemini for the interview prep? It's awesome that you're coming out of it pretty well. It could be really like mentally draining.
I mean, you did it. You answered like 3 questions when I was tired, man. When you did it, I was like,
Also, edX. I've heard of edX before.
yeah, I heard about it. I haven't used it much, but
Yeah, congratulations, Jasmine. Oh, that's right. I think you mentioned that before, that it was through WGU and work or something. But Brexy just watches YouTube. That says something. Like you have access, but you're still running to YouTube for it. Yeah, and Europe gives the price after taxes on the price tag. And which, honestly, I mean, I think that's what we should do is just include it in the price, but yeah. Who knows? Brexy uses the Pluralsight just for the recorded into Workday. Rania mentions edX is legit. Do you guys have any recommended courses that you guys have checked out on edX? What about you, PBO? I know you're pushing on that those AWS certs and the CISSP all at the same time, basically. What are you using? What's your master plan and internal secrets there?
it's funny because I'm taking practice tests as we talk. I follow this Australian guy on Digital Cloud. That's kind of my go-to. Then LinkedIn. So I usually take courses on LinkedIn, and I really like this guy. It's called Digital Cloud.
Do you do flashcards or take notes or anything like that? Like, how does your studying go?
I'm usually more of a test bank guy because after I look through the videos, since I've been doing it for 30 years, there's really no new, for me, there's not new technology. We're just doing it different. I was doing VMs on Red Hat in 2022. Now it's just an EC2 and AWS, right? So I did a load balancer in Apache. They just do ELB. So for me, it's just the nomenclature and how do you use it differently. So usually I'm just a test bank guy. Once I go through a couple of videos, I'm like, okay, this match to this match to this. Let's start running to, what are they looking for on tests usually. Like I said, there's nothing new in any of those tests. Like I said, when I go through. So I'm usually watch a couple of videos, just start running through the test bank.
Yeah. Also, Jasmine, I don't know if you noticed, if you saw it or not, but I'll go ahead and forward this into our GRC discussions channel. But I did provide a prompt for it as well, for the voice mode portion. And if you ever have any questions regarding that or otherwise, like I would say I probably have spent too much time with Gemini. just a little bit. But yeah, I'm more than happy to hop on a voice call or something and help you set up voice mode to go into, prep or whatever else too. It can definitely be touchy. So, but it sounds like it was still useful for you. Yeah, Space Tacos over here lived in Germany.
Shout out to Germany.
Yeah, where in Germany did you live, Space Tacos? I'm curious about that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then also I'm dropping this in chat too. So this PBO's mentioned it before for digitalcloud.training. PBO's talked about it for a while now. And oddly enough, I don't really hear PBO really recommend that much stuff out there, but
I don't.
PBO does seem to like this this particular platform.
I like your guys, the cyber guys. I just started off with him, and I just had good results when doing that. So,
Hey, I mean, no hard feelings, PBO. I like their accents in Australia. That reminds me of Min Min. Right when I was popping off, trying to get off your stream the other night, Min Min popped up, and I haven't seen him in forever.
yeah, we had a good conversation. Usually,
I was up at like 1:17 that morning, so like, I kind of wanted to stick around, but
no, cool. But yeah, Min usually reach out to me. We usually at least talk once a month. Because he's usually he's the ISO guy, so
yeah.
which I don't know. I keep saying that's on my list. I think I might do CMC before I do ISO though.
I'd like to see you do CMMC live streams, go through and give us an updated, because you have previous ones, but that was like 3 revisions ago.
I know. It's on my list because I jump in there. They have a Monday morning called CPN when you interview the guy Derek, the white Derek. What was his name? You remember?
Derek. I just had it. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Derek,
CPN. Yeah. So I might jump in their little cohort thing. I think they're doing some great things. CMC seems to be getting a little more momentum too. So.
Yeah, now it's bothering me. I have to pull him up. Yeah, he presented for us. It's all good. Yeah, he presented for us and so forth. And yeah, he has that CPN, which is what? CMMC Professional Network.
I think that's
it's a nonprofit that he started.
Yeah.
Derek Phillips, that's who it is. I'll drop his LinkedIn in chat.
Yeah. So sometime I jump in on their calls on Monday. And Jaime, sometime I jump in his Discord. I'll be answering questions in his Discord. I'm like, this is from an 853, not specifically for a PCI guy, but so.
Bam. Yeah, and I just sent that prompt into the GRC discussions channel. Oh, here you go, Cam. I'm not even going to try to pronounce
nice.
that.
Awesome.
Did you spend time in Germany or something, Cam?
Yeah, I wound up working at a DoD site or warehouse in Ramstein Air Force Base, and then a place just outside of Heidelberg. But so I don't think real close to Frankfurt, but kind of in that area. I loved it. I loved living over there. I used to joke that coming from Wisconsin, that the everything looked the same over there. I get why there was a lot of Germans that settled in Wisconsin, because a lot of the like topography and just kind of the makeup of the area reminded me of that. But yeah, I was probably there for like maybe 6 months, something like that.
There's a lot of really good companies out of Germany too on the privacy side. So yeah, like I was recently looking at, I might do another vertical live stream monitor something, because like I did with those state laws. Bornheim.
Bornheim,
I think.
Yeah.
I struggle enough on names alone. Come on. At least I can pronounce space tacos. I'm not going to try German cities. Nah, I'm good.
Deutschland.
But yeah, so I think it's Sweden where Proton Mail is based. The country is actually trying to pass a bill right now to where Proton would have to have the ability to be able to decrypt data. And also the EU has tried at least 2 different occasions to make it to where the platforms would have to have the ability to decrypt the encrypted data. And so like there's Proton, there's another one too, and then also another VPN service that's based out of Sweden or whatever. That's like pushing really hard against that, obviously. But basically, long story short, if you look at all of the different places, there's Liechtenstein, which still has really good privacy, but then also Germany. Those are like the 2 top other options. So, yeah. Like I have a whole like research pile in Notebook LM on it. So, yeah, and I'm just pulling it up now. So I don't completely miss. Yeah, Switzerland. That's what. Yeah, Switzerland. Yeah, because Proton is just outside of Geneva. Yeah, so sounds like several of you guys. I haven't even left the country, ever, technically, not on paper. But
Wait, North Dakota's in the U.S.?
yeah, exactly. Usually, what I get is North Dakota's a state. That's actually really common. If you look, that's what surprised me about the Google Trends is on Google Trends, there's like 500 searches in like a 24-hour period for the whole state on Google Trends. And number 1 is almost always weather.
Yeah.
I think the entire I'm probably going to misquote it, but it's about 760,000 people in the entire state, and like over 400,000 of that is in the 2 major cities, which is Fargo and Bismarck. So like out in Phoenix, I think there was like 6 million people or some crazy number out there. Yeah, so as of 24, it was just under 800K for North Dakota. And 84% of that is located in Fargo or Bismarck. So. But. Yeah, everyone spoke English pretty well. 0 communication issues in Germany. I definitely plan on traveling overseas and so forth, but yeah, the communication is kind of scary. But nowadays we have that stuff on our phones. So.
Yeah, right. And English does make it really easy. Just a lot of people help you out because they know English, even if you don't know their language.
Right.
One of my favorite jokes is, someone that speaks 3 languages is trilingual. What do you call somebody that speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call somebody that speaks 1 language? American.
Oh gosh.
That's true.
Space Tacos was at that city, for 4 years.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Heidelberg and Rheinstein. Yeah.
Please note I said that city.
Yeah, I was there during I think the 2010 Euros, which is like a soccer competition, and place just went off. Like they'd close up work to be able to go down to the bars or pubs or whatever places and watch, and they would just have it like out in the backyard on a huge screen. I loved it. It was cool.
Bam. Yeah, and then we're coming up to our hour mark here. If you guys have any other questions, definitely drop it. One of the main reasons I asked about the different platforms is because I want to add that section to the resources page as well. Even though it's not directly tied to just GRC, but these other platforms and so forth, I wanted to create a whole list of different platforms that the community likes, because they do still have GRC related, technology related content too. But
that actually reminds me. I was in another Discord and a guy was asking about resources for CGRC, and I know we have one. What is it? The ISC2 or whatever it is on the resource page, which I shared with the guy, which he was familiar with. But I didn't know if you guys had any other. If that's something that you've seen, that cert something that you've seen training or education for.
Yeah, that's come up before too. Honestly, like one of the best things to do is actually look at the 837. So if you look at the domains, the 837 does actually talk about a lot of that. But then also there's several of the courses that are on YouTube. I didn't really see very many of the paid courses out there for CGRC. And the ones that do exist, like there's Thor something. Let me see if I have it. Thor Teaches, who is a very well-known, like senior level person for ISC squared, but it doesn't look like he has one for CGRC. So I've heard really good things about this guy though. But yeah. And then also like ISACA too, like, you know, they have their official books. Same thing with IAPP. Like most people run off of their books just because. But like I think their video course is like $1,300 for IAPP's video. If you don't want to read the book, yeah, you got to pay like $1,300 for their video course.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't read the membership agreement in full, so I'm just gonna full stop there. But yeah. But yeah, thanks for the insight there too, PBO. I don't think I ever asked you your study method and so forth, but yeah. Did you have any final key takeaways?
No, everybody have a good weekend and just keep grinding and don't get discouraged. That's all I got.
What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I was thinking similarly. Celebrate the small wins and always love learning. You know,
Do we get
be a nerd.
Do we get to look forward to your part 3 for this weekend?
Yeah, part 3 is coming out. Hopefully for this weekend. Testing some AI hallucination detections and
Bam.
Trying not to steer it so it's completely biased towards GRC doing that work, but may or may not have some stuff there.
Go figure. Yeah, and as we come to an end, I'll double check chat right before we end it, but definitely check out Cam's channel. A lot of 853, stuff that's going to be outdated and, expired in a few years, but also talking about the AI hallucinations, when, which is important considering the 53 may get revoked at some point. Oh, I think PBO had muted himself there.
Never. 53 will never get revoked.
And then also, there's also Cybersecurity Dojo is another one, and then Luke C3 too. And if you guys have like other channels that you guys are watching, drop that stuff in Discord, drop it in chat and so forth. Like I'm really trying to build out this resources page for GRC in general. Really, the only thing we want to try to prevent is just any of those scam camp type of things that are 6 figures in 30 days or give me 10K and I'll get you a job kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I think I dropped that other one. Bam. And Luke C3 has LSEC here. That's more on the geopolitical side of things, and I do find it pretty interesting. It's interesting he talked about tactics, but also he just had another one drop 3 hours ago about the drone renaissance. So, because that's like how a lot of things are moving these days.
That's like really taken off where I'm at too.
Yeah. How was I not subbed to Cam? Wow. I don't think I'd publicly admit that.
Oh man, right? That's it. I'm coming for all your crowns.
I did make a GRC nerd like badge before in Canva. I need to get that on a flag. Space Talkers has given me the idea there. But yeah, I'm going to go
That's a
ahead and
good
end
call.
it here. Thank you guys for popping up on stage, giving you guys his insights, and also the discussions here in chat. You guys have a great weekend. We're almost there with Friday, and then I'll catch you guys